Hello and welcome back to the HCCTV Student Lounge. This is a show done by HCC students for HCC students to give your opinions in news, entertainment, and what's going on in your school. My name is Kyle Aragon. Hi Carolina, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good to see you. We are also joined today by Diego, Andres, Beth, Vincent, Josh, Benjamin, Kennard, and Eric. And we will also have our special guest of the day, Martin, also known as Nano Munoz, who is a veteran and also an HCC student. But first, let's move into our top 3 news of the week. Well, we're getting close to Veterans Day, so what is Veterans Day? On November 11, many Americans will have a day off of work and school to honor the individuals who have served in the U.S. military. Here's why we celebrate Veterans Day, and there's a difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. So we tend to confuse these two, and Memorial Day is to honor military personnel who died in the service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or as a result of wounds sustained in battle, according to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. And the Veterans Day is a holiday to remember everyone who served in the military period, whether or not they served in wartime. Veterans don't necessarily fight in wars. Another common misconception about Veterans Day as well. And here in Texas, Texas has the second highest population of veterans in the country, nearly 1.5 million, and many of the veterans are poor or homeless. Did you know that about having the highest population, Kyle?
No, not in Houston. Honestly, it's interesting that you said about the 2 holidays too, because I don't even think we have in Brazil, or if we do, we don't even celebrate. So, that's interesting that over here they do that. And about the population, no, I did not know that. And again, I'm always learning something new.
I know, right? Well, groups around the state are tirelessly working on veterans' behalf. There is always more to do or be done to ensure their civil legal needs, like eviction and the inability to access medical care. They're all being met as they reintegrate back into the civilian life, especially during the global pandemic, right? Now, each year, the week of Veterans Day is designated as Texas Veterans Legal Aid Week. This year, from November 9 to November 13, the local bar associations, legal aid organizations, and law schools across Texas are hosting free virtual legal clinics to serve veterans with the support and civil legal guidance they need. You can find some information over here in the video, and there's also a hotline. Now, also remember that HCC also has a Veterans Affairs office. If you need more information, you can visit the website that we're going to show down here as well. Now, let's begin our first topic, which makes way to a great discussion. So we wanted to honor the Veterans Day in our show today, and we want to talk about the U.S. military service and others around the world, since we have so many international students over here. And in my experience in Colombia, I remember that my male friends and my family at the age of 18 had to enlist themselves to serve. And depending on some requirements, they are eligible or not. Also, there's a way to get away with it by paying, and you don't have to go, which is totally legit. And also, Andres can correct me if I'm wrong, right? How was your experience over there in Colombia?
Hello, Carolina. Okay, when I finished my high school, my father, he paid my military ID. So in Colombia, the thing is, if your parents have money, they can pay for your ID, for your military ID. But if you don't have money, if your parents they don't have money, so you have to go and pay and make the military service. So in my case, because I wanted to start my university, so I didn't want to go there. So this is the deal in Colombia. If you have money, you don't need to go. But if you don't have money, you need to go. This is the deal in Colombia.
Yeah, it sounds rough, right? And how much was it?
I don't remember exactly, but I know it's very expensive. I don't know, maybe 1,000 or maybe 2,000. but no all the families have that money. That's why it's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds crazy. It sounds a little bit unfair. I
Yeah.
remember some cousins, some wanted to go, but they didn't qualify because they have to be tall and things like that. Also for the army, which is army forces are totally different, but yeah, it's interesting how it works in different countries. Caio, how does it work in Brazil?
You know, you're saying that, and it's funny because in Brazil, I even saw a meme that is like that. It's like, oh, I want to serve, and you're like, no, you don't qualify. And people there was like, I don't want to serve. It's like, no, you gotta serve. You know, and it's kind of like that because I had friends that wanted to serve and didn't got called for it, and the ones that didn't want to go got called in. So I think they kind of trick people into that. And you talking about pay in Brazil, like we don't really have this option. Well, we do, you know, we gotta pay, but it's a different time of payment, you know. And I've known people that have done that, you know, but it's not legit and it's not legal to do it. Unfortunately, that's how things work over there. But you know, but even though we need to enlist over there, like it's mandatory. We don't really get into wars. Like we don't really have missions as much as, for example, the United States. So, and I think that could be even the cause why in Brazil we don't really respect the people that are in the army as much as we do here. You know, in Brazil, for example, you don't see any type of discount or any type of programs to help like veterans. You know, and I think that that's something that was really surprising for me when I moved here and I got to know. And even this thing of, you know, thank people for their service. I never heard that before in Brazil. Never. Like for me, I didn't know that was a thing until I moved here. So, you know, living and learning. So it's really, really interesting to be, you know, getting to know a different culture, even when it comes to the military. So I would like to know from Eric. So, Eric, what do you would like to share with us today?
Even though I'm half Nigerian, mostly the military comes from the other side of my family. I have three cousins that were in the armed forces. One was in the military, one was in the Navy, and the other was in the Army. They all enlisted when they were 18 right out of high school. And one did 20 years, one did 4 years. And I really do admire them. They were big role models for me when I was growing up, being the youngest grandchild and looking up to them. So I think that all our veterans are very important to us. We should always show them respect at all times, especially when we want to be students. So that's kind of my forward opinion on how we should respect my family and other veterans.
Now, Beth, tell us a little bit about your experience. I know you have some family members who are veterans.
Yeah, I had a lot of family members. In fact, my father served in World War II, first as a airplane mechanic and then as a drill sergeant. He served in Hawaii before they had Pearl Harbor, and he was repairing planes before that. And then after that, he was helping assemble new planes. And then he also participated in the Pacific campaign when they were attacking Japan from the Pacific. And so he served in the Gilbert Islands and the Marshall Islands, and mostly there he was loading bombs and repairing planes.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. And how it is to be a daughter, you know, of someone that was in the what about the stories? Were you able to hear stories, share the stories, or he used to keep secrets?
We didn't get a lot of stories because they were sworn to secrecy when they came home. But my father used his drill sergeant tactics on us. We were raised with very strict discipline, and we got up in the morning to this. Hut, 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 ho, let's go hit the floor every day. So that's how I experienced it.
Oh, wow, that's good to hear because I think, you know, over here, you're the only person that, you know, have parents that were actually in World War II, especially. So it's good that you're sharing that with us. So I really appreciate that. And Carolina, what's going on now?
Yes, thank you so much, Beth. Also, if you want to tell us about your experience, if you have a family member or if you have any experience at all, let us know in our YouTube channel. Over here, we can see the comments that you leave us. Well, let's move on into our special guest. Who do you have for today, Caio?
So today I have, you know, a dear friend, you know, we work together, is Martin Nano Munoz. So he is a filmmaker, a veteran, and an HCC student all together. And it's really a pleasure to have you here. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the show. You really caught me off guard with all this, but filmmaker, I got
Perfect. So tell me a little bit how, first of all, thank you for your service. And, tell me how long were you serving?
you. I served for a total of 11 years combined from the Puerto Rico National Guard. I served with them for a long time, and then after 9/11, I went active and joined the United States. And I was able to serve for both countries.
Oh, wow. Thank you again for your service. That's really inspiring. So in those years that you're there, I'm pretty sure you got to learn a lot of things. So what things do you actually take for your personal life or, to improve yourself?
One thing that I take away from the military is it made us all come together. People from all different parts of the country, even parts of the world, all had to come to in one organization and find a way to be able to function and towards a same common goal, a same mission. And it was very difficult at times, but it made me a lot more tolerant to people's needs and understand a lot more about where people are coming from.
Oh, wow. So you had an opportunity then to, meet people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and get to know. So you think that definitely helped also you to, understand better people's need, as you said, but also, respect them and understand the culture, because that's something that I feel like if you don't have that dynamic with people from around the place, you don't understand how things work. So that's also something that you got it from the military, right?
Yeah, everywhere you go, you basically become an ambassador of the United States. So you're going to get a lot of people that like you around, and a lot of people that aren't so happy that you're there. But that's a different kind of experience, and you hit it right on the head. It's all about the respect. Once you can respect another person's culture, traditions, and languages, then a lot of the times, then we're going to have a very decent conversation.
Oh, wow, that's really inspiring. I like your answer. I was not expecting for that, and appreciate. Well, and it's even better because everybody here, I think, it's from a different country, or at least like most of us, and that I think that's what make this show even better, because we have a little bit of our own like backgrounds and our culture, and together we create this really interesting show, which it's really inspiring. I'm really excited to be here. So talking about. What was your favorite thing in the military? If you could say, you did mention that you learned a lot about cultures, but, tell me something that was really like your favorite thing to be. Maybe the location you were, you got to know different countries, or what was your favorite thing from the military?
I think that a lot of it had to do with a lot of the discipline that came from the military. A lot of times when we're young, we're coming straight out of high school, and we don't have that kind of groundwork already instilled. So it really helped me to become the person that I am today. The traveling was great. I mean, there was times where yeah, we're there for different things, but in the moment where we did have opportunities to go travel, I've traveled so many different places. I've seen so many different things, and I wouldn't have been able to do that just me alone. I've been to Italy. I've been to Germany. I've been so many different places, and it was great because I really had a chance to spend time there. Not only just visit there, but also spend time. I lived in these different countries, so yeah, I was able to learn how other people live, and also understand how they communicate and basically how they move around life. It was really beautiful.
And so with all this beautiful landscape and things, that was a motivation for you to become a filmmaker.
Well, that was the good thing about the military. The military, what it did was, at first they taught you how to pick up a rifle and aim it. I'm not gonna lie, but what I used was also how to aim a camera. I was initially taught how to shoot rifles, but now that transferred over to filmmaking, and I can pick up a camera and shoot a camera now. So it went from a different kind of target now. It went from targets that were downrange to target audiences. So it was a very smooth transition to see how one thing can actually help produce another.
So you do think that, the military definitely helped you to kind of, find your way into filmmaking. And what are other things? Because I know, for example, HCC offers a scholarship for veterans. So you think that was, when you came back home, was that a way of like motivating you to go to school and actually pursue that as a career?
Yes, all the way around. If it wasn't for the Montgomery or the GI Bill and also vocational rehabilitation, kudos to those military programs. If I didn't serve and was able to come out of the military with those programs already available to us, it would have been hard for me to pursue a career or a dream outside of the military. One challenge that I had was when I was getting out of the military, I felt that that was the only thing I knew how to do. For a long time, my job in the military was what I did. And I felt that I was going to transition from military into the civilian world, doing exactly what I was doing in the military. But it was my family here in Houston that said, no, that's not the only thing you know how to do. You can do a lot more other things. And they were the ones who challenged me to look in my past before I went into the military to see what those things were. And it was writing. It was weird. Writing was something that I had a difficulty in high school. But I challenged myself out of the military to redirect all that negativity and to bring it into something with a positive light. And that just paved the way for producing. It paved the way to go study film. The benefits from the military, having these scholarships, I was able to use the money that I received from that not only to pay for my tuition, but I was also used that to start my own business. And guess what? Yo Smooth Productions is a thing now. So it was a great benefit that I was able to use. And with HCC, it just opened up so many different things. I got a chance to meet Kyle, one of my favorite cinematographers ever. And it was from that it just branched out to what it is. Now I'm sitting as a historian at the Men of Honor organization, where I didn't even think I would be out to receive these kind of opportunities, but because of my media background, because I produced, because I had that discipline and that structure that the military provide with the discipline of ACC, I was able to do these things, and I'm continuing forward. Glory to God.
Well, that's really inspiring. To be honest, I know you're really good behind the camera, but I'm surprised in front of the camera you're great too. Okay, I think we should bring you to the show.
Hey, Kyle, you know me a lot better. You know I'm behind the camera. So I got you. I got you.
I think I'm gonna talk to the Teddy Talk and make sure that they put you there, to inspire people, because it was really good to hear all that from you, and I think that inspires people that are watching us right now too, and he came back home and he could just give up of everything. He was a military, and it's really hard when you come back home. Some people has traumas, and sometimes it's really hard to overcome all that and find a new path. So, for example, Nan, you saw like he found his way. So, you just gotta try, and of course, at some point you're gonna make it. So, Nan, thanks so much for being here. I really, really enjoyed talking to you, and of course, keep shooting, and we'll keep shooting together, right? Movies, not guns, okay?
You got it, boss. You got it. Thank you for having me on the show. It's truly a blessing, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to share this message with everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We love having our guests, and we have had previous guests who talk about following your passion and finding the career that you love, and then making like money with that. So it's really inspiring to hear your story, and we hope that it touches the heart of someone who's watching us right now. Now we're gonna move to our next section. It's our gaming news. So Vincent, what's out in the gaming world?
Thanks, Carolina. I don't have a skit for you gamers this week, but before I get to gaming news, I just wanted to say thank you to our veterans for fighting for our country. We honor you on this special day. Thank you. All right, so starting off with gaming news, Watch Dogs Legions just came out in the past couple weeks, and already on the first day, it's full of bugs and glitches. On the very first day, people posted videos of their characters falling through the floor, falling through the map, cars flying around, characters being cloned. it's just not looking good for Ubisoft. Hopefully, they got their stuff together and have patched out all the glitches. Next, K-pop fans and League of Legends fans rejoice because KDA just released a new single called More. For League, this is a music video that's for League of Legends. In the first hour that this song came out, it already hit 1 million views. So K-pop fans, League of Legends fans, let's put our fists up in the air. All right, so that's about it for gaming news. I'll pass it back to you guys.
Now, we also have a very interesting section, entertainment. So what shows are out that you want to talk to us about related to the topic?
So I wanted to talk about a movie, but we had a lot of people here, and I was not sure if I should talk about that movie. So actually, I would like to recommend a game. I know we came from the game and now entertainment, but gaming is also entertainment. So Call of Duty Warzone, it's a great war gaming. You know, some people, like, I love it. A lot of people love it. It's great to play with your friends. Sometimes you rage a little bit. So that's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to pass along. I need to say that. I'm sorry.
So I want to recommend a movie called Battle LA or Battle Los Angeles. Me being a filmmaker myself, I'm very inspired by it because it's about the military. It's told from the military point of view. It's very much a sci-fi supernatural thriller, but it's all from the military's point of view. It's about the military going into LA and fighting this alien threat. And it's very dramatic because each one has their own backstory about their PSD or why they're back in the military, why they got out of the military. It's definitely a military story. It's kind of like Saving Private Ryan, but with supernatural aspects to it. So it's rated PG-13, and I think it's a good movie for this topic. And it came out, I think, either a few years ago, not very long ago, but it's not old yet. So definitely go to see it, and it's a good watch for the whole entire family.
Okay, I want to recommend the movie Born on the 4th of July. Is with Tom Cruise and directed by one of my favorite directors, that is Oliver Stone. The movie from 1989. It's a very good movie. It's about a real story about a teenager that he went to Vietnam War, and when he's in battle, he received many shots and results with his legs paralysis. So when he came back to United States, he became an activist against the Vietnam War. It's a very good movie. I really like the plot, and the performance of Tom Cruise is really good. I want to recommend that movie. Thank you.
I want to recommend a movie called Apocalypse Now. It's a movie about the chaos of war. It's about the Vietnam War, and it's based off a book called In the Heart. I believe it's called In the Heart of Darkness, which is a classic novel, but they just made it modern to the Vietnam War, and it shows that, you know, it's a mix. There's a lot of just people in there for the draft, and there's a lot of people that believe they're doing right, but the government sent, you know, soldiers in to do for not really a clear goal. They're trying to contain communism, and it just shows how it gets really messy, and it's a critique on politicians, not necessarily soldiers, because they have to be responsible for, you know, what wars we go into. War is a very serious thing, and I think it shouldn't be like just taken lightly.
I'll be talking about the movie Hotel Rwanda. It's a movie that chronicles the Rwandan Civil War and the genocide that occurred. The movie follows the manager of the Hotel des Mille Collines. His name is Paul Rusabeganina, and he is a member of the Hutu tribe, and the Tutsis are being genocided by the other side. And he, in his own faith, he decides to take the Tutsis into his hotel and try and protect them from the rebellion, the genocide, all that. And it kind of shows how the importance of doing the right thing in a situation where, even though it might be against your morals, but you know that the right decision is the right one.
I recommend you watch a movie called Saving Private Ryan. It's a movie that's tied with a lot of emotional attachments to it. It's about a rescue mission organized to find the last of 4 brothers. That 3 of them was killed in combat. It's a captain took his crew, whoever he had on the front line, and in search of Private Ryan. All the men that was on his journey to find Private Ryan, they all took on strong ownership and personal attachments, embark personal journeys, and discover their own strengths to tramp over an uncertain future that they thought they would never get past of it, or saving Private Ryan and bringing him back home to his family.
And I would like to recommend the movie Unbroken. It's based on the book from 2010, also named Unbroken. It talks about Louis Zamperini. He was an Olympian, and he did well in the Olympics around the year, like when World War II was, but right before World War II started happening. When he came back, he enlisted into the draft, and he actually was in a bomber jet. Some events happened, and he ended up in the ocean, and he lasted in a raft for 47 days until some Japanese, I guess, what would you call it? Like a Japanese boat came by and took him as a prisoner of war. So I would recommend that movie. I think it's one of the best war movies that I've seen, and amazingly enough, it was directed and produced by Angelina Jolie. So go ahead and take a look at it. Unbroken.
Thank you, Benjamin. That was awesome. Well, a lot of great movies, guys. So with this little chilly weather, nothing better to stay home watching Netflix. So take advantage of that. And or if you have a lot of work, as I do, it is what it is. So guys, it's the time of the day to say goodbye. I think we had a really, really cool show today. Really exciting. We also have a list with the discount for the veterans. So if you want one and you want to take advantage of that, make sure you check that. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure being here, and I will see you next week.
Thank you for everything, Kyle. Also, don't forget to send us your opinion and also send us topics that you would like to discuss with us. Now we'll see you on the next time on the Student Lounge.